Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Women Worthy Network. Okay, so we have a big announcement to make. I'm so freaking excited! Excited! So today we're premiering our show, All In with Jacqlyn and Troy. We have our own YouTube channel. We have everything set up, but we're premiering the show on the Women Are Worthy Network because it's the Women Are Worthy Network presents All In with Jacqlyn and Troy. And I want to thank Troy for basically coming up with the name. Woo, woo, woo. So let me tell y'all something. I am so sick and tired of what's going on in the relationship and dating space that I'm like, you know what? I snatched up Troy and I'm like, we got this. We gonna do this. We're all about being professional. We're about to, I'm not gonna sugarcoat anything, but we're all about being professional and dishing it with love. So I want to welcome my should I call him my YouTube husband, so to speak. Tell your girlfriend everything's cool now. My YouTube husband about relationships. So we want to thank Troy for coming on board, for trusting the process, and just enjoying it. So, Troy, tell us a little bit about yourself. I reached out to Troy. He has the qualifications. He is good. Okay, so we're going to tell you the who, what, where, why we're deciding to do this. Okay, so Troy, tell the audience a little bit about you.
Oh my God, you flatter me. You flatter me too much. Thank you so much. Hello, everyone. For those that don't know, my name is Troy Vaughan, also known as Tre Amazing. I have been a dating commentator with my platform called Ringside. I've been doing this since 2009. I am a very vocal, outspoken, over top and an outspoken, over top and opinionated dating commentator on both on social media and locally here in Atlanta. I've been doing this for a very long time. I've amassed a huge following, a major digital community. If you're out there, make sure you find Ringside LLC on Facebook. Join the community. And yes, this topic matter, dating, relationships, marriage, intimacy. These are subject matters that mean a lot to me. I'm very passionate about, and I am very happy and blessed that Jacqlyn reached out to me. We vibed, we talked, and we're ready to make some magic happen.
That's right, because at the end of the day, we want to make sure we can make people, learn how to communicate effectively, because that's really about relationships, communicating effectively. So, Troy, what we're doing is All In with Jacqlyn and Troy. So, check this out. It's Northern Exposure meets Southern Charm. Y'all know I'm from New York. I'm from Brooklyn. So I would be the Northern Exposure. And the Southern Charm would be Troy. So,
Yes,
we're
I'm
talking
definitely a
about,
Southern gentleman.
hi, you're a Southern gentleman.
Yes.
That's right. That's right. So, we want to look at relationships objectively. We want to have a thought provoking commentary. We're not here to argue with anyone. We just want to put what we know that works. Again, for me, if you want to know, why I told you I'm disgusted with what's going on, where the show will be after today will be on the YouTube channel, All In with Jacqlyn and Troy. And basically, why our qualifications. I'm married over 20. No, what am I talking about? 20. My husband gonna give me a knock on the head. I'm married exactly 32 years. October that just passed. I'm a relationship expert. So I want to just dish some things out. I'm new. I can learn a lot of things like that. Not everything I say is right, but it's all about common sense. Troy, can you tell us a little bit about why you're qualified to do this?
Well, the people that know me know that I am a pragmatist. I'm a pragmatist at heart. I've been a dating commentator with my own platform, Ringside, since 2009. So ever since then, I have seen the good, the bad, the ugly, the beautiful, the tragic, and miraculous when it comes to what people on the ground experience in today's new genre when it comes to relationships, dating, and marriage. And so I definitely consider myself someone who I'm no stranger to this subject matter. I've experienced the dating here in Atlanta. I've experienced a marriage. I've experienced a divorce. I've experienced build an entire community as well as a YouTube channel, followers and subscribers who come together to learn more about the issues that we need to address that hinder healthy relationships and more prosperous marriages.
So here's my question to you. There's, why all in with Jacqlyn and Troy? There's so many dating relationship coaches, experts. There's so many out there. There's enough for everyone. And it's based on people being related, how you relate to other people. So why should people tune in and listen to us? Why should they?
Well, I've always explained to people that when Steve Harvey came out with Think Like a Man, Act Like a Woman, whatever the title is, I'm probably muttering it. He really did open the door for a lot of overnight, instant, microwavable relationship experts, because he himself, he didn't study, relationships or marriage, or he didn't go to school for that. He's just a man with an opinion. He was a man with an opinion on a large platform, started sharing his thoughts and philosophies, and he's made a killing. He's made a lot of money. He made movies, wrote books, and that a lot of people after him, that was kind of the advent for this new age instant overnight relationship expert. For me, personally, anybody can have an opinion. Anybody can wake up one day and say, look, I think I know what it takes to give advice about relationships. For us, I think you and I, we are exceptional because we have experienced the beautiful, the tragic, the good, and the bad in terms of relationships and marriages. We've invested time. We're not two people who just started doing this yesterday. We're not out here just trying to make a quick buck. We're not out here just trying to clout chase and just make a name for ourselves. We've been investing a lot of years with this. So this is nothing. This is not a fad. This is not a trend. This is something we take seriously, something that we've invested blood, sweat, tears, money, energy, the whole nine. We've invested a lot in this. We've brought in family, friends, so on and so forth. And so we are not amateurs when it comes to this subject matter. We are not social media trolls. We're not people out here just trying to, act out of boredom and just put our opinion out there. No, we're trying to effectuate positive change. So we are not people who are, just flying by the seat of our coattails. We really are trying to, do something positive and, really make a difference out here.
Now, if you're on the page, please, make sure you like and subscribe, since we're on this page, the Women Are Worthy Network. But we need you to subscribe to All In with Jacqlyn and Troy. All In with Jacqlyn and Troy. That's our YouTube channel. But we're premiering it on this channel tonight. We're going to be doing it every other week. You'll be seeing the flyer. So y'all know, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Jacqlyn Charles. I have a show that's called the Women Are Worthy Network. We have, a lot of subscribers and followers and things like that. And to be perfectly honest, the show's an empowerment show. It's not just about women. It's about people. I'm sick and tired of, celebrities are the ones who the younger generation look up to when we have people in our community. But I'm telling you, I'm very passionate. I'm borderline opinionated, which I am. But here's the thing, y'all, I'm married 32 years. Why wouldn't you just, I'm not saying listen to me, but at least hear what I have to say, because I'm willing to hear what you have to say. If you're struggling through something, we've all gone through it. But if it works, and I'm not here to say, oh yeah, I'm married 32 years, woo woo. Because if it ain't working, I'm not one of those women who like, you know what, let's stay together because it's 32, 33, 34. COVID struck. So many people have filed for separation and divorce. I'm not trying to be with a man because, we've been together 30 years. I'm young. And the last I look, I'm beautiful. Okay. So I'm not looking to be saddled with someone that I'm not happy with. I'm happy and I want to show people. Now, don't get me wrong. He ain't perfect. But I know when there's issues in the relationship, I know who to blame. How many people can say that? We're normally putting it on the guy. But I know, I know who I am. Look, I wouldn't marry me, okay? I don't know how he does it. I wouldn't, okay? I'm going to keep it real. Because some people are a journey. I'm a whole luggage. So I just want people to understand we're here. I'm not here to shame anyone. I'm not here to blame anyone. What we're looking to do, Troy and I, we're looking to bring people together. How can we come together? We're not here to call anybody a linebacker. We're not here to call anyone, make things look good. As Troy said, we're not here to clout chase. We're here to give proven results. So between Troy and I, with marriages and dating and relationship, we got this. So we're just asking people to be open-minded. If you want to send an email, you can send an email. We want you to subscribe, share. You're watching, share. Because I'm telling you, we're going to be dropping some nuggets next couple of shows. This show was really tonight just an introductory with our, how our chemistry, what we're doing, why we're doing it. Because I don't think we wanted to do everything all in one show. That's way too much. We may talk about a few topics, and then so you can get to see, like, okay, maybe I can watch this. You're definitely gonna get some comic relief from me, because sometimes I don't even know I'm a comedian and people are laughing. But again, we want people to enjoy the show, and it's Troy. So Troy, what topic do you want to talk about? Like, what do you want to throw out there? We didn't rehearse this, so this is just.
No, I don't always like rehearsal. I like to shoot from the hip. I do agree. I mean, if people out there, if you're watching, if you haven't picked up on the vibe yet, I mean, we have northern exposure over here. We have southern charm, and when those two things combine, it's combustible, but in a good way. We definitely will be dropping nuggets. I mean, more flavorful and satisfying than Chick-fil-A. So, get your place ready, because it's on and popping.
You gonna drop the mic.
Oh yeah, indeed. I mean, I had Chick-fil-A today, so.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
So what do we want to talk about? Like, and again, if you're watching the show, hello. If you're watching the show, just tell us, put something in the chat. What topics you want us to talk about? If you want to talk about, look, no topics are, let me put this out there. We're here to talk about everything. Polygamy, fetish. We're here to talk about the polyamorous relationship. We're here to talk about if you're in a LGBT relationship. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter who you're sleeping with. It's relationship is relationship.
Right.
We're not just talking about dating and marriage. What about friendship? What about with your relationship with your parents? What about, relationship with your significant other? We're here to talk about any and everything, taboo topics. Because at the end of the day, if you're a Christian, we need to talk about it, because I don't want Christian, talking to a couple of my Christian friends, they didn't know who to talk to about sex, or if they're in a marriage and, they've been married for so long that it's stagnated. What do you do? How do you get it? Because I get emails and women look up to me, come to me because, whether I'm doing.
They look up to you.
Or counseling sessions or whatever, because I believe we need to be fulfilled. We're going to be talking about self-care. This is a platform where I promise you, we're not going to be here to judge you. I am very opinionated, and it may come off as judgmental. It's not just judgmental. I'm very passionate.
Right.
That's what I'm all about, being passionate. So that's what this is about. We're not going to judge you if you call us and say, hey, or you're on the show and we bring you on as a guest and you're like, look, I'm dating two guys. Or even if you don't want your face to be shown, I'm dating two guys. Or a guy says, I'm in a polyamorous relationship. Let's talk about it. That's the problem. We need to have discussions. We're both in Georgia, but as you know, streaming is throughout. Let's see what we can do. Let's shoot some questions. We have someone by HSOUCHCBME. Shoot us a question. Ask us. We're in this together, because it can't just be Troy and myself. We're in this together. So Troy, okay, what's up? What's up, homie?
Oh, no, I'm feeling you. At the end of the day, no, I do agree and I do support that. We are not here to be judgmental, because none of us are perfect. None of us have all this, wrapped up, tightly. We all have our issues. We all have our insecurities, and we can all use some guidance, regardless of what angle you approach from. Because again, we want to support the diversity. We want to support, people from different backgrounds, different walks of life, regardless, heterosexual, LGBTQ, the door is open. Walk in, bring your opinions, bring your concerns. However, I do want to stress this, we are not judgmental. However, if we have an opinion, we will stress it because Jacqlyn, just like myself, we're both outspoken, over the top, and opinionated. We do have opinions. However, though we may debate an opinion or a thought or whatever, we are in no shape, fashion, or form trying to, you know, dissuade people or make people feel like they don't belong or they're not welcome because you're all.
Right. Right.
When it's all said and done, we want to support a diverse community. And we want to learn from one another because, we are not, Jacqlyn and I, we're not on a pedestal talking down to anyone because when it's all said and done, we want to learn from our subscribers, our followers as well. We have a lot to learn. We have a lot that we can benefit from and we can apply in our own relationships. And that's where, you guys come in. So please make sure you drop some comments, share your thoughts, follow, subscribe, and, tune in and let's have fun. I mean, we're all here to talk about topics and relationship issues that are pertinent and salient in many of our lives. And let's just dissect them. Let's get to the heart of it and, see what we come up with. And we're going to, we're going to find some positive answers and establish some great results. She and I talked about previously before we started, there's a myriad of different topics that are out there.
Wait, can I interject before we talk about the topic? I want to mention this. I want to make sure the bored housewives are on this. Okay, so we want you to.
We got some bored housewives?
Yeah, we want the ones who, if you're in a sexless marriage, we want you to. We want the ones who, if you have in-law issues, we want you to. So sometimes you have to break it down so people can understand that, so I can be a part of this. We welcome all. So I just want to put that out there. We welcome all. Okay, Troy, sorry to interject, but I just wanted to bring that up.
No, that was a great point. If you are, for me, the platform is supposed to service everyone. I don't care if you are a bored housewife. I don't care if you are an overweight, blue collar husband working 2-3 jobs. It doesn't matter. This platform is for you. We are not, excluding anybody. If you have a concern, if you have some opinions you want to share, if you have some questions you want to ask, you know where to go. Okay. This is something new. This is not your average, relationship dating show. We're bringing something different. Okay. We got some New York. We got some down south Atlanta / Memphis. So you're going to get some great responses. And so I would encourage each and every one of you out there within the sound of my voice. If you're hearing me, if you're seeing me, make sure you subscribe, make sure you follow. If you have questions, concerns, or if you just want to be heard and vent, make sure you send an email, look down at the ticker and make your voice heard. And so we can talk about, we are going to be talking about a lot of things that are out there in the media right now and things that either you personally are experiencing or things that or you've seen out there. I don't care if it's sexual. I don't care if it's marriage. I don't care if it's dating. I don't care if it's sexual health, whatever the case may be. We're going to be covering subjects that you will and can relate to, just even today, if you have social media, I don't care if you're on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, you've seen, topics that have been circulating, even with celebrities. And let me just say this really quickly. We are not exalting celebrities as an end-all, be-all for relationship success because they, just like the rest of us, they have their imperfections, they have their insecurities, they have their inadequacies. So just because they can appear in a movie or a video does not mean they are the standard. They have issues too, and we're going to talk about it. So
here's my question to you, because I know you have something, but here's my question to you.
All right.
What did you think? What do you think about being a man? What do you think about Drake actually talking about putting hot sauce in his condoms? Did you hear about that?
I heard about it. I didn't do a deep dive, but let me just say this. You have to, he took that. I put that shit on everything, literally. So putting hot sauce in his condoms. Well, you have to be someone who is totally over sex to the point where you out here getting so much sex and whatnot that you start experimenting with the most outlandish things. Who out there? Number one, he had to have known. Drake is a millennial, and no distant millennials. Shout out to millennials out there who are watching and subscribing. Um, he knows what is going to get a reaction on social media. Anybody on social media, I don't care who you are, you talking about putting Frank's hot sauce in a condom, you're gonna get some likes, some followers, and some shares.
No, but he didn't just. It wasn't him who talked about it. What it was the girl. What happened was because he got a girl pregnant. I think he met because he loves IG models. So he got a girl pregnant. He's paying her, I think, $20,000 or $40,000 a month. So he met another girl, because she had the baby. So he met another girl and he had sex with her. So somehow she found out that he put hot sauce, because I remember Shaq was the first person telling these young kids, make sure, when you're in the league and you're having sex with these groupies, that you make sure you take the condom off yourself. So what Drake did was, now the young lady talked about that he actually, when he disposes his condom, he goes in the bathroom and he actually puts hot sauce in it because he doesn't want them to use the condom and, get pregnant. So my question is, what do you think about that? I know it's far-fetched and it's not whatever, but I'm like, what are your thoughts about that? You being a man and all, who wears a condom or had wore a condom, what is your thought about that?
Oh, gee willikers. So you have to go that far. Well, number one, I mean, of course, I'm not going to instruct Drake on his sex life. I mean, like, do you, bro? Because when it's all said and done, his level of temptation, my level of temptation are vastly different. He's out there dealing with temptation I'm not dealing with. So, but I'm like, if you have to go so far as if you think you have to put hot sauce, number one, ask yourself, should you be sleeping with that young lady in the first place? But that's little, that's too, top level, whatever. Number two, my question, if I were to talk with Drake, if Drake and I were to have a conversation right now, I really would ask, like, where does that start from? Like, who, Drake, I don't care if it's Drake or Shaq, where did the hot sauce thing come from? Like, who would do that? Who would?
Well, I can see, I'm not saying I agree with him for doing that, because I think he's, getting these Instagram models, and you did it the first time, and, I guess he figured, what's the weirdest thing? But I just wanted to bring that up just to, I didn't want to spend a lot of time on it, but I just wanted to know if you heard about it, because it is a relationship question, because he's having, obviously, because he's making that much money. For me, you and I are definitely going to, not have the same opinion on things, because it doesn't matter if you're, and people may disagree, it doesn't matter if you're a celebrity and you have 5,000 women coming at you. You can't get all 5,000, right? Maybe within 10 years. But if you're working in corporate America, you still have some woman who's trying to pick you up, or whatever the case may be. So, I just think that he's asking for trouble. He's not that young anymore. So he needs to know when he's going to bed with someone. Now is the time for Drake to slow down a bit. Now, yes, I'm going to say now is the time. He needs to slow down, because picking up these Instagram models, it's only going to lead, one got pregnant, it's only going to lead you, allegedly, getting someone else pregnant. So I know you want to talk about. I know you want to talk about your girl, the relationship girl, Miss Good.
Oh, Miss Good! Shout out to Miss Good if you're nasty. Miss Good is out there. She is letting it be known. If you follow her on social media, if you out there, unless you're living under a rock, she is putting it out there that she is single. She is no longer committed to a man. She is out there in the market, ready to meet. And shout out to her. I mean, that's her choice. I mean, that's her prerogative. I mean, the fact of the matter is, she is now technically a single woman. She's no longer married, and
they're not divorced yet. They're separated. That divorce didn't go through that fast.
Oh, it didn't.
No.
Oh, I thought with people like that high level, I thought it would have gone through that fast. I mean, it's like a drive-through window nowadays. It doesn't take that long to get through a divorce. But she's priming at this point. She's letting it be known. She's thirst trapping. She's letting me know, like, look, I'm about to be out here. I'm about to be a steak out here on a silver platter. So,
why do you call it thirst trapping?
Well, I didn't really understand the theme of thirst trap until a few years ago. It really is a case of, I mean, you have some people who are organically and just naturally putting pictures out there because they're living their life. But then you have others who are strategically placing these pictures out there because they're trying to get certain reactions from people. And the fact of the matter is, we've coined it thirst trapping because, in fact, it works. It works. I mean, we talk about we're not going to sugarcoat it. Let's keep it real now. Thirst trapping does work. You put it out there. You can put a sexy picture out there, man or woman, because we as men, we do the same thing. We put it out there. We're hypersexual. We're doing things that you typically wouldn't see us doing on a regular day, or wearing things you typically want to see on a normal day, because we are trying to invoke that interest, some likes, some hearts, some DMs, some date requests. And again, people do it, men, women, all walks of life. It's effective. It does work.
It does. I find it disrespectful when people call it thirst trapping, especially when women and men, because my thing is, when you're getting a divorce, particularly from women that I've heard, somehow you want it to work. She wanted her relationship to work, I'm assuming. Okay, she wanted her relationship to work. It didn't work. So sometimes your self-esteem goes down, because everybody knew back in the day Megan Good was bad. Her body and everything is banging. So now you meet this guy, you fall in love, you marry him, because she dated other dudes, for 50 cents allegedly, and all these other guys, and they didn't, she got a ring out of this. Now for her to, maybe she's having something going on with herself where, what, I'm still bad, because she was dressing a little differently. She didn't dress completely different, but she was, because he's a pastor. So for me, props to her. Okay, you dropped me or I dropped you, because believe me, that would be me too. And for me, this is just me, I don't like the term thirst trapping, thirst trapping, because it's almost like I'm being thirsty. And it's not me being thirsty. It's almost like, okay, I need to get my confidence back, because she was known as the body. She was. So for me, it's like, I would do the same thing. I don't see anything wrong. And I'm not saying you said there's anything wrong, but I just don't, for me, I don't like the word thirst trapping, because when guys do it, we don't call it thirst trap. But when women do it and they're in their bikinis or whatever, and she's looking good. So she wants people to see, like, I'm still exercising, I'm still Megan, so I like it personally, but for me, I find the term thirst trapping a little distasteful for me. Other people, they love it. I just don't like it. I just like, she's trying to live her best life. You know what I'm saying? Because she wasn't doing that when she was married to him, So now she's like, look, I got it. This is what I'm doing. So here's my question to you. What do you think about Tiffany Haddish and Common situation? I've been getting a lot of emails about that.
Oh, man.
Let me hear what you got to say about it. And if y'all, come on, I need y'all to comment. This is not just the, Jacqlyn and Troy show. We want you to comment. Go ahead and get those keyboards. Make sure you like and subscribe and comment. Come on, let's talk. This is not a gossip show. We're talking about relationships. That's what we're doing.
Tiffany and Common and Tiffany, is that so common? So when it's all said and done, none of us who are reading the blogs or the social media, we're not going to always know exactly what was going on in the heart of that relationship or why it even ended. I will say that, I may not always be a fan of Tiffany Haddish's movies or whatnot, but everyone deserves to be happy. Everyone deserves to find love and, find companionship. But when it's all said and done, I mean, the things they've been saying about Common, Common's been out there. Common has dated, a few other high-level celebrities, and it didn't work out. And for whatever reason, I've noticed, even though, of course, I'm not going to be in their relationship, I've noticed it always goes back to Common, because Common is always the common denominator in all these failed relationships, no matter what. Even in the situation with Tiffany Haddish, a lot of people, I've been looking at the comments, both on my own group and on, across social media, people have been directly, a lot of people have been blaming Common and feel like, Common, he needs therapy. He's not ready to be in a serious relationship. He goes from woman to woman. But then you have those people who, may not be fans of Tiffany Haddish, who blame her, who feel like, she's not relationship material, or she's not suited for someone on Common's level in terms of maturity and so on and so forth. So people are going to take sides. I never revel in watching or seeing a couple, particularly a Black couple, self-destruct or go down in flames, because I do want to see positivity in relationships. I do want to see prosperity in marriages. So to hear about Tiffany Haddish and Common not working out, that was one of those things where, like, okay, I really wish the outcome was different, but hopefully they can recover, learn from this, and move on. It becomes, in Common's situation, more so than Tiffany, it becomes like a broken record. It's something we hear about. He meets a young lady who's typically a celebrity or a key figure. They date for a year or so, then they break up. So I don't know. I'm not in a position to really point the finger of therapy to say it's Common that needs to go sit down on someone's couch or Tiffany, because, depending.
Okay. I'm going all in. I'm not doing all that politically stuff that you doing, in my opinion.
Go for it.
I'm going all in. Okay. Common, because he was raised by a strong mother.
Mm-hmm.
He's been dating strong women, right? Which is great. I've read his book. I think, and I really.
He's got a book now?
Huh? He's got a book. Yeah, I think 2. Yeah. And he basically dated, I think, Angela Rye at one point, and I thought that was going to be something. I thought.
Well, he did. Yes, he did.
Couple of the century. So people have been saying, and I agree, he's dating from Serena Williams to Erykah Badu. He's dating strong women, but somehow he can't commit. And here's the thing: when he was on one of the shows, and a person asked him, he was being interviewed, and he said something like their schedules or whatever, because I watched the interview, and then they went back to her, and she said that's not what he told her. So my thing again, obviously, it's a communication issue, but I do believe that, I don't know if he's in therapy, but I do believe if he's not, he should be in therapy, because he had childhood trauma. He finally admitted what happened to him. Mm-hmm. And it has to be, traumatic. And I'm not blaming that on, the relationship. I just think sometimes you need to heal first, and when I saw that relationship together, Tiffany, I love you, girl. I never thought that was going to work out. Never thought in my wildest dreams that was going to work out. At all. When he was with Angela Rye, I never thought that was going to work out.
I was really, I was really supporting that relationship because I like Angela Rye. I love her political commentary. I really, in the heart of I was like, I really hope that works out, because I think they made a nice couple. I do agree. I'm a Black man that supports therapy. If you are out there, if you are Black, especially if you are a Black man, I support, I advocate, I encourage, I beseech you. Go sit on someone's couch and go talk to someone. Go get some counseling. Go to therapy. There's no less destigmatized going to therapy. It doesn't make you weak. It doesn't make you any less of a man. It doesn't make you any less of a provider or whatever the case may be. There is nothing wrong. There's nothing emasculating about going and talking to someone about your issues, because the fact of the matter is, and I don't know if this is the case with Common. It may be, it may or may not be, but you have men out here in their 30s, 40s, and 50s still dealing with issues that they haven't resolved from childhood that are affecting their relationships and marriages to this day. And until they get a handle of that, until they actually talk to someone and actually wrap their mind around trying to address these issues, they're going to continue contaminating every relationship and marriage.
Exactly. And that's why I'm hoping, and maybe he is, I'm hoping if he's, if he's not in therapy, I hope he would seek therapy, because it's a vicious cycle, because this is what happens, y'all, and y'all know it. Okay. You can't be bringing your luggage into the next relationship. You got to unpack. Ooh, I'm dropping some jewels. You got to unpack that baggage, unpack the toiletry, unpack it. Because when you pack, you have your toothbrush, your toothpaste, then you got your coat, your jacket. You got to start unpacking it a little at a time. That's what you're going to have to start doing. And I'm hoping, because I want to see him boot up. But then again, maybe he doesn't want to be that kind of boot up. Maybe he wants to be a confirmed bachelor. I heard other people saying other things, and I'm not even going to go that route. I just want them to both be happy. I mean, she was happy with him. She loved him. But, sometimes what's good to you is not good for you. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So maybe it could be something like that. So that's why I wanted to bring
both
that
of
up.
them, they both, I think, can benefit from some therapy. Tiffany, she's no exception. I know more about Tiffany's backstory than Common. I know she's definitely, where the path that she's traveled to get to where she is has not been easy by a long shot. And so, even though I don't always support her acting, I do like to see her win because she didn't have it easy.
She didn't have it easy, but you know what? Somehow, as Black women, we're told to get over it. We're told to move on. And I think she did receive something, and I can't swear by that. And then think about this. Her grandmother just passed, passed recently. And then I think her dog died or something. And then, she, got arrested in Georgia. And I'm just sending prayers out to her. I just want prayers to go out to her because, she's funny. I find her funny. And again, coming from where she comes from and the foster care and how she made herself, this self-made person. I just love anyone, white, Black, Asian, I don't care who you are. The fact that she's overcome so insurmountable odds. I vibe with her because I too, for me, come from a sex trafficking background. I went through that. So anyone that has gone through anything traumatic, I applaud. You know what I'm saying? Because right now I should be in a room with a straitjacket. Okay. So I applaud and commend anyone who can rise above it, but still seek therapy. I still have a therapist. As a matter of fact, she's been texting me because, before when I was seeing her, we were building the car, as I call it. With brick by brick, we were building the car. Then, we started to do the engine check. Now I only go to her when it's time to change the oil every 3,000 miles. So now I'm much better than, that's how I look at therapy. You go every day or every other day when you're building the car. Then, okay, you taper off, checking the engine. Then you taper off to, so where I am right now in therapy is oil change every 3,000 miles, oil change. In Europe, it's more than 3,000 miles. So, that's how I work on that. So what's the next topic? Again, we're not going to be here long. We just want to put some things out here. We're going to be talking about bulge. We're going to be talking about a lot of things that's going to, some of you, if you're wearing a wig, it's going to flip your wig because we're not going to be afraid. If you're wearing a hat, we're going to flip your hat. Your weave, one of your extensions may fall out, something. If you got a crown, that may fall out too. Okay. So we're going to have
plus the curls.
We're going to have some fun. But again, there's some, topics that are going to be very serious that we're going to talk about. So what's the next topic you want to talk about?
Well, I focus on relationships and dating. I will admit, last week hearing the news about, oh my God, Jason Momoa and Denise Huxtable. I didn't understand. Like, yo, Aquaman, like you married your crush. You married the woman that you admitted crushing on for all those years. And, fact of the matter is they both made very mature, very politically correct comments on social media, letting people know, like, look, this is still the love of my life. Still, they care about them. We've just decided that the paths that are most beneficial are separate. Very politically correct. Very.
That wouldn't be me. That would not be me. I'm not that mature. That wouldn't be me. I'm not that mature.
I just couldn't understand after years. I mean, after years of listening to this couple, I mean, these two had a very tight, unconventional, I will say, but very tight relationship. These two seemed very in love and very in tune spiritually, physically, the whole nine. And then to hear about them just cutting things off, I'm like, dude, what happened? Especially when they can cut things off, but still speak so highly of one another. I'm like, there's nothing there to work out. I mean, they gave a lot of people hope. I'm like, Jake,
not me. I'm sipping tea, not me. They didn't give me hope.
I'm
See,
like,
all that stuff. And let me tell you why. For me, they wasn't giving me hope, and it wasn't a politically correct statement. This is Lisa Bonet. Remember when she broke up with Lenny Kravitz? This is how it was. And here's the thing, y'all. When I tell you I pay attention, I pay attention. Okay.
Third eye.
She broke up with Lenny not because he also cheated, but because you remember he was getting more famous. So the solid foundation that she wanted, because to me, allegedly, she reminds me of a person that, she, not that she wants to shut things down, but this is how we started, things were great and all of that kind of stuff. I think that's what she wanted, that normalcy. But then when Lenny became a rock star and all that, things
Yeah, he kind of became a rock star a little bit.
Right. He became a rock star. Maybe he was doing rock star things. Jason Momoa, same thing. Same thing. So T's 303002 says, I've never understood couples who break up and declare they still love each other romantically. How could they love and not, how could that not persevere or preserve it? That's true because, but see, this is what they're doing. Because I have to say, Lisa Bonet was the first one that started this with Lenny. I mean, they love each other. They still see each other.
Mm-hmm.
The ex-husband and the new husband are friends. I'm not understanding this conscious uncoupling. And that's what I call Jason Momoa. You need to be respectful. But again, how can you, what did I do that we can't work together? Because if you love me, why is it not working out? I don't get that. So I agree with T's 3032. It doesn't make sense to me, but I'm not in that relationship. But I never expected it. I don't, because of what happened with Lenny. And when you look at his meteoric rise, then they broke up. Jason Momoa is higher and higher and higher. I don't know about any other things happening in the relationship because we're not privy to know. But when you see the patterns, I think she was happy going back to, because you remember her name was Lilikoi Moon something. She had one of those names. And I think he was living on the reservation with her. I think that's what she wants to go back to, my opinion.
So, I mean, yeah, it's, it does happen sometimes. I mean, you hear about it with men and women. What do you do? How do you manage when one person begins to build their brand, starts, getting more and more attention, more business, more opportunities, more movies, more music, more, everything, does that cause a shift in the relationship or marriage? Because maybe Lisa Bonet, maybe she preferred the Jason Momoa who, before he was Aquaman or before he was this big time Hollywood star, because at one point, he's been in Hollywood for a long time. He was in Baby. He's been acting since he was a kid. But at the end of the day, his acting chops, they weren't to the level they are. He's just in the last, maybe 6-7 years, he's really been making a big name for himself. So I don't know, is it a case of, hey, I don't mind that you're becoming successful. I don't mind you getting your money, making a name for yourself. But she still maybe just make an assumption, maybe she still misses the same Jason and not Aquaman. Maybe she still wants that same gentleman from the reservation and not from Hollywood.
And remember, he's traveling, he's doing shoots, you know what I'm saying? So you're away months at a time. So that could be a possibility, because you remember she went through that with, Lenny. And again, we're just talking about that. Because think about it, so many people are in marriages and one may skyrocket in the relationship. That's why it's so important to have conversations. It doesn't matter how big we get, have that conversation, because my husband and I have talked about that already. We've had that conversation. Now you can have the conversation, but do you actually come through? Like, okay, I'm cool with that. Girls throwing panties at you as long as you come home. But when it happens, how do you really feel? And you're there to witness it. You know what I'm saying? So I just wish them both well. I've always loved Lisa Bonet since she was on the Cosby when she left. I've always loved her. I loved how she didn't fall into the whole Bill Cosby thing by throwing shots. And she was just off in her little reservation doing her own thing. And I love that about her. She doesn't get into the gossip. She doesn't get into any of that. So I wish them both the best. But I hear a lot of people like, oh my God, I thought they were going to last forever. I'm like, okay, really? I never, and I'm going to say it again, never thought that was going to last.
I guess something else that, I posted to my group not long ago, maybe a couple of days ago, looking across social media, looking at different Facebook groups and the comments, so on and so forth, Twitter, Instagram. I've always been curious about the relationships that we see that we unfortunately witness end in divorce. why are there certain marriages that end in divorce? Some marriages and some divorces we celebrate, and others we sympathize and empathize with. Because even with the common and well, that was a breakup, but we see just long-term relationships and marriages that end. Some people out here celebrating it, seriously celebrating it. And then other marriages and relationships that end, we're, trying to be empathetic. We're trying to be, Christian and understanding. And I'm like, what qualifies that? Because when it's all said and done, especially as someone like myself, I've experienced divorce. Divorce is nothing to celebrate. It's nothing to throw a party. Um, you know, Other people may have a change, of opinion and feel a different way. But I've always been curious about what really qualifies, as far as celebrating a divorce versus.
You mean the public, the general public celebrating or having empathy for someone who's divorced? Is that what you're saying? The
Well,
John
just
public
the
like
new
us?
the news. Whenever you hear about any couple going through divorce, seeing certain people post emojis of balloons, cake, flowers, hearts, like "Yay, congrats, you're going through divorce," and others like "I'm so sorry that happened to you. Call me if you need me." Like, what qualifies that,
It's
or
how we feel about the person.
Mhm.
It's how we feel because, for example, God forbid Michelle and Barack get a divorce. I think the whole world gonna pass out, okay? And we'll be mourning. I'm not vested like that, invested like most people in that. I love them. I mean, they're a great couple, but some people will pass out and, emojis. I mean, not emojis, but they would be like, oh my God, we thought you were the perfect couple, that kind of thing. You know what I'm saying? And then you
Right.
have other people like, let's say, and I'm just going to throw this out there, the past president and his wife, if they got a divorce, people will be celebrating that. Okay. So I think it's how a person makes you feel, and
Hmm.
how they make you feel. That'll show if you're empathetic or whatever. And if you're a schmuck, if you're just a schmuck, then people don't like you, then they're going to celebrate it in front of your face and behind your back. I think it's how people feel about another
No,
person when it comes to divorce.
no, I agree with that assessment. 1,003%. Uh,
Ooh, y'all need to take notes because we're not going to agree a lot. Okay. Y'all need to take notes on this one. Okay. Keep score.
Okay. No, I agree with that because emotion really can dictate a lot as far as how you feel, how much empathy or how petty you can be. Because my cousin made a post late, well, sometime early this morning. I won't go into detail, but she shared a picture of Tupac, and the quote was, "Karma is the most patient gangster." And I told her, I made a comment underneath. I said, "Well, I don't believe in karma." And I said that because I knew that would be controversial, but that's actually how I feel. I don't believe in karma because I think, and I expressed this to her, I said, Black people and Christianity is the reason why I don't believe in karma. And I'll tell you why.
Wait a
Because,
minute. We need to write this down because this is gonna be a whole nother show. Okay. Whoa. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I've always stated that, and I've seen this from my own personal experience. Black people specifically were the defining factor of why I don't believe in karma because Black people, particularly Black Christians, mention karma more than Buddhists and Hindu. I'm like, they mention karma more than anybody else in the world and still, have a backdrop of the Bible and Christianity. And I use that example as I've always stated that it's always karma when something bad happens to people you don't like. That's when you switch to Buddhism. When something bad happens to people you like, you want to remain Christian, so on and so forth. I use this example just because it's actually happened. Um, Representative John Lewis announces he has cancer, terminal cancer. Then all the Black Christians come out with, God has a plan. God will protect you. You know, pray. Stay close in prayer. God will see you through this. Someone like Rush Limbaugh announces he has terminal cancer. All you hear was karma. You deserve this. This is what you get. Now, these are two individuals, both human beings, both announced they have terminal cancer. And then you see from the Black Christian delegation, some people saying it's in God's hands, then other people saying it's karma. So I'm like, is that the defining characteristic, whether or not you like the person, whether or not you think their life, their background, their work, warrants, a deadly disease or something like that. So I've never been, that's always been for me something that stuck out. It's like, okay, do we only mention karma when we see something bad happen to people that we didn't like to begin with? We didn't like them to begin with. So when something bad happens to them, we just say karma as adults. That's our way of saying, nah, that's what you get.
Well, and I want you guys to comment on this as well, because for me, I believe in karma, whether good, bad, or whatever. I believe in karma. I meditate, dibble and dabble in Buddhism, but I'm a Christian, okay? But I believe I'm a spiritual. So when people say, well, what's your religion? I don't have a religion. My religion is I'm spiritual, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm open to all things that are out there for other people, if that's what they want to do. For me, I believe in karma. Whether if something, because I believe if you do good, it comes back to you. If you do bad, it comes back to you too. So that's the difference maybe with me and other people, because I'll tell someone like something happened earlier and someone said, see, Jackie, you put that good karma out there and it comes right back. Because it's all about energy. And that's a whole nother show, because again, I'm all about spirituality. I'm all about energy. I'm an empath. So I believe in things like that, for me anyway. But I hear what you're saying, that when if it's Rush Limbaugh, people are celebrating, yeah, karma. When it's John Lewis, but see, my thing is, Rush Limbaugh was a schmuck,
Oh,
allegedly.
definitely, he was a schmuck.
Okay, so
I didn't cry.
allegedly, he said some bad things, in my opinion, but for me, I view a lot of stuff that he did was not positive, right?
I
Where
agree.
John Lewis spent his life dedicating to people and helping people. When you think about this man, T's 3032 said, "Good point, Troy." But Lush Limbaugh. Well, my
Oh
thing,
no, I agree. No, I agree. Rush was I. I don't want to sound like a jerk off, but I did not cry. I did not cry because I did not. I was not a fan of Rush. I hated some of the things he said about Black Lives Matter, about Barack Obama, about Kamala Harris. I mean, he about blacks, and I mean, just he was a disgusting human being.
but
So
no one should die, whether you're good or bad. No one should die from that terrible disease. Everyone should be living. So I was not celebrating or any of that. My thing was, when I heard that he passed, and a lot of things in his life happened, and you're like, wow. And then, of course, when John Lewis did, because this is a man who, got hit in the head, and it's a miracle he didn't have, brain issues with all that. So, hopefully, they are where they need to be, because I'm not here to say heaven or hell or whatever. That's between them and their maker. But we're
absolutely.
winding down the show. We want remind everyone to email us if you have questions to Jacqlyn. It's on the bottom, Jacqlyn, Jacqlyn, and Troy. So we're spelling out the and Troy at gmail.com. And our YouTube channel is, please make sure you go over there. We're going to upload this there as well. Please make sure that you subscribe to our page. It's all in, ALL, all in with Jacqlyn and Troy. Don't ask me why we didn't make it shorter, okay? Because he came up with this name and I just love it, love it, love it, love it. So we're in agreement. So I'm here to tell you guys, we're not going to be clout chasing. Troy and I are not going to agree, because I already know me and him going to be having some heated debates, because he said some things tonight that we're going to be having some heated debates.
Let's do it. I'm
but it's
built
going
for
to
this.
be all about respect. We're going to, if it gets too heated, we know to bring it down. It's going to be some heated debates, and it's all about love. I respect him and everything that he's doing. So T said everything good and bad happens for a reason. Exactly, because I believe when it's good, whether it's a reward or whatever, when it's bad, it's to teach you a lesson. When it's good, it's to teach you a lesson. When it's bad, it's to teach you a lesson. That's how I look at things. It's all educational purposes. So we want to thank everyone for tuning in. Please support the channel. I'm telling you, we're going to have guests on eventually, but we're going to be dissecting stuff that's going on. We're going to be talking about in-laws. Y'all, I got some crazy in-laws. I'm gonna tell y'all some stuff. Oh Lord. And I'm gonna be putting my mess out there. I got the approval because I told my husband I want to be putting our stuff out there, what's going on and things like that. So I will be not just talking about other people, I'll be putting my stuff in there, my hot mess in-laws. So we'll be talking about that. So anything else you want to mention, Troy, before we sign off and go into Never Never Land and come back? Our show, the next show should be what date we're going to be doing it. And make sure you share the channel. I think the next show will be February, is it 10th? Yeah, February, or is it February 3rd? February 3rd.
Oh yeah, we will certainly be talking about Valentine's Day and
yeah,
the what to do, what not to do to have a successful Valentine's Day. So make sure if you're out there watching right now, make sure you tune in to that day because you can walk away with some helpful information that could be vital to your marriage and relationships. In terms of final thought, yeah, great show, great introduction. I do see that this will not be boring because fact of the matter is, I mean, that's the reason why we wanted to coin this Northern Exposure, Southern Charm, because we are not here to sing Kumbaya. You know, if we were singing Kumbaya, this would be a boring show. And if we were doing that, I wouldn't even subscribe to it. I got to be honest. But the point is, you can disagree and still learn. You can disagree and still be respectful. And if nothing else, even if you don't walk away with the information and apply the information we shared, at least you can see two people who can have controversial counter thoughts, but still respect one another. That's something you can still walk away from and still benefit from. So, you know, enjoy the northern breeze and the southern humidity, but we're here to make some positive change.
Again, don't look at me and say, well, oh, she's married 30 some odd years. I was married as a baby and she may not know what goes on. Look, I still got to drop it like it's hot now. I still got to find out what's the new thing. I got to swing from chandeliers. I got to figure out what's going on here so I can learn. You know, I'm all about learning. Okay, so and how to keep the spice in the relationship. And so we're going to talk about that. And if you have no money, what to do, how to make him feel like a king and how he should make you feel like a queen. Because I'm not here telling you you need to do everything. It's a give and take. It's not 50-50. Let's get this straight. No relationship is 50-50. Anybody tell you that, they lying. It's not 50-50. You know, so sometimes you have to give 70, he gives 30, you know, vice versa. Depends on what's going on at the moment. So we're going to talk about new things that you need to be doing and, you know, lingerie, all that kind of stuff. So I'm
clear heels.
I'm going to break it. We said
clear heels.
Okay, so we need to tune out now because we're going to that next level. So we want to thank everyone for tuning in. You know, comment, let us know, you know, if you thought it was a good show, how we can improve, because we're starting our groove. You know, we're starting our groove because I'm telling you, we're going to be knocking folks out of the water. So again, thank you for tuning in to, you know, All In with Jacqlyn and Troy. Oh, T said they enjoyed it. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Share it with your friends. Share it with your friends.
Tune in next time. Share it with your people. Bring your friends. Bring your coworkers. Bring people you don't even like.
Because we're going to have a little party up here one day and everybody going to be drinking their some champagne or mimosa. We're going to be sipping it with the mimosas and things like that. So the next show is February 3rd.
I won't be drinking mimosas, but
I'll be drinking whatever you need to drink. Drink that Henny, that brown. Drink water. Drink merengue tea like me. Drink something. No, why am I putting it in? They're not sponsoring us yet. So February 3rd will be our next show. So without further ado, we want to remind people to please social distance. Make sure you're sanitized. Stay safe because we want you back. We want you back. Bye, guys.